Okay, here is XVG, Verge. And I know you've been asking for this for a while, and I'm sorry it's been delayed. Finally getting to it. There have been a lot of requests. I'm trying to get these filled as quickly as possible. I also don't want to just throw it out. Um, when I get a request, I want to kind of think about it and look at it. I have my methods. So each one takes about 20 to half an hour. And when it's a video, it takes longer than that. Just to do the editing, summarizing. Now I'm doing not only the USD pair, but also the BTC pair as well. So thanks for your patience. Here we go. I had originally recommended Verge at around 0.002, 2/10 of a penny basically. And I saw an impulse, wave 1, wave 2, and then we should see a wave 3 going on. So I'm going to get rid of some of these subwaves just to make it cleaner. Let's clean it up a little bit. Almost get a blank slate going on. Okay. So price broke out of this bullish flag after an ABC, or you could say ABCDE rather. And it did an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And never forget to hurry up and wait. Look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hurry up and wait. Cryptos will never rush the correction. It will always slow it. So let's draw lines. When in doubt, always draw a line. So it's channeling. And I can see A, B, C, D, and E. A little more lower to go. So this 1, 2, 3 is next. 3 is definitely next. So if it does A, B, C, D, E, it'll touch to maybe 0.043. That is where the lower line, trend line, is sitting on right now. And then from there, you can expect an impulse to the 3. Now bear in mind this is a logarithmic chart. Let me delog it rather than linearize it. So the first target we need to see is for the price to breach out of this channel and hit somewhere around 0.0238. And that itself will be a significant profit. So initially, once the bottom line is hit, bottom trend line, price has to breach out of the upper trend line and hit wave 1. This will impulse out of this. And wave 1 here will be at around 0.0238, which is about 4.3 times current price. But I think there's a little more lower low to go to the bottom trend line, which is currently sitting at 0.0042. And that means it'll hit, bounce off, maybe it might even do a wick. Those of you who are getting nervous from going to here and panicking already, I think this will give you a little bit of better understanding and perspective. If this is an A, B, C, D, E, the E will touch the bottom, very similar to here, A, B, C, D, E. And then rise up. Similar, it's kind of like a fractal, although this is more horizontal, this is more downward pointing. It's okay. As I said, I had recommended it down here somewhere, so it's already in quite a bit of profit. So what do? When is the best time to buy? At the terminal end of a correction. So A, B, C, D, E. And the E is the last wave. And we got a little bit more to go. What would you be doing? You should be laddering in here. Why? After wave 1, after wave 2, there's wave 3. And I'm pretty confident that it'll climb out of this channel and hit 0.0238 or higher. And my confidence is not based on just this count and this count, because it's wave 1 and 2 and 3 coming up. It's because of this. The cup and handle pattern. Poof, broke out. And this is going to be like a stairway. Stairway to heaven. Stairway to wealth. Boom. Good name for it. And if you're getting already frazzled by these kind of declines, I will show you purchasing the books that I recommended, going through the tutorials that I have posted the links for at every blog post, and studying those will help you well on the way so you don't get surprised, so you don't stress out, but you have a better perspective as to why, how, where, and an approximation of when. So I hope this puts some dis-ease at rest. And look at XVG Verge to BTC pair. Beautiful. Cup and handle. Broke out of it. Now it's working on an ABCDE. And this is very reliable, in my opinion, from a pattern and a Elliott wave count perspective. Let me show you why. Check this out. I mean, Ether has broken out of this A, B, C, D, E. And it went as high as my wave one at $520 freaking dollars. Not too shabby. And I had been predicting this for quite a while. And I posted this just a few days ago saying keep an eye. These are the original markings from that day. Keep an eye on F. A breakout is happening and poof. Almost a double. I had a coaching session with a person who is one of the top upvoters. And when we were talking back then, it was somewhere in this 278s. And it went as high as 519, 520. Damn. Sweet. And the same sweetness will be tasted here. It may go up, have a good correction, A, B, C, D, E. C is finished. Now is D. Take your profits here. Wait for E. Ladder back in. And ride the waves. And this is just an intermediate target. You're looking at much, much higher than this. So for any of you who are in a position and then you see maybe a 5-7% price decline because it's a correction and that's kind of emotionally and mentally and psychologically straining on you, I would really, really, really recommend that you buy the books and study the Elliott Wave Principle. All my book recommendations, there's only 2 books that I recommend are in the bottom linked. And for anyone who want to get a little better of a primer, go to the tutorial videos. I have 3 Elliott Wave tutorial videos. As well as, here I'll show it to you. Right here. Better yet, this would be. You see, as I'm making the video, I capture the images to write the summary. It takes me about half an hour, sometimes more than that. Very happy to do so. I enjoy it quite a bit. View these 3 tutorials: laddering, buy-sell setups, when to buy, when to take your profits, how to use Fibonacci's with Elliott waves. It's a really good tutorial on this. Tons of information. These are the 2 books that I recommend. My trading nuggets and my essay on technical analysis. Is it a quantum event? Yes, it is. Follow me on Twitter as well for real-time alerts. That's whenever. I mean, I crank these out. I'm a machine. Most of my outputs are from requests. I used to name who named it, but as I read through comments, I write it down. And there's so many of them I just can't. I don't write down the person who requested. I just write down the ticker symbol for the coin. And I know this XVG had been requested by now multiple times. Just I'm now getting to it now. And I used to go back to that commenter, reply and paste the link to that person, but I can't do that anymore. I just don't have the time. I mean, I get so many comments. And as you can still tell, I try to actively weave in and out of these comments and participate and do the discussions. I do the best I can. I mostly scan for the requests in the comments. But my readership, and I'm so glad, has grown so much. The comments have also grown by proportionate amount. And I'm doing the best I can. And I think I have like an unofficial teaching assistant or a supporter at Solus Rex who is giving you a lot of the feedback information or background information as to where the tutorials are, how the Sunday evening top upvoter followers work, and enables a console time as well. So I'm really grateful for that. At Solus Rex is one of my best supporters, and I'm so grateful for his upvotes. I am doing this for the upvotes because it gives me more visibility. And I will admit it, I even self-upvote myself, because at my level of 66, I'm assuming, based on how the formula upvoting formula works, that even self-votes will help with my visibility. I'm not doing it for the pennies that I give at 100% of my vote. As you can see, based on the evidence of my performance, I don't make my money on the betting on the hoping to get more of the payouts on Steam. I pretty much give that away to other places. What I'm here is to help and do no harm. That's my primary objective, and I have been very deadly consistent on that objective. So more visibility for me means more people will be able to see my blogs, have some degree of top-of-mind awareness, and maybe they too can be helped. Based on the comments, many of you have profited. Many of you have benefited. And my objective is that you guys are not to be the only ones to receive those benefits and profits. I want to get this out there, try to as many people as possible. So to anyone who gets frazzled by small corrections, I strongly encourage you to please initiate the initial steps towards self-proficiency in technical analysis. I have been providing some coaching to the Steamians, and if you are interested, I can provide that as well. It's not my number one thing that I want to do, but if that is what you would desire to get that level of coaching so that then you can better get onto the self-proficiency, that'll be fantastic. I mean, I have a person who came on board and started out really shooting from the hips. And after just a few sessions now, that person has converted his portfolio by, I'd say, 83% profit. Increased his portfolio by 83% in just a couple of weeks, because he finally got it. And now he's experiencing it. And sooner or later, he's going to have 7 figures. Because that's how you really become self-proficient. Don't listen to anybody else but your own analysis. Go by your own analysis. And the ultimate objective, even for a few individuals if I can, to enable them to reach that stage of self-proficiency. Solo analysis. And that is a degree of confidence that I can maybe truncate the time it'll take for you to get there, because I've already done all the mistakes. I've already got all the scars. I've already brought multiple accounts to 0 and negative in my experience from dumb mistakes, from which I've learned every lesson possible. And during my coaching sessions, I confer this as much as possible, really exactly what I'm doing with my blogs. Not too different. So if you have interest in that, let me know. We can arrange it. The rates are very reasonable. Like I said, it's not the number one thing that I want to do. I don't have that much time, but we can arrange something for a few sessions, and hopefully it'll get you on the road to self-proficiency. All right. I hope this has been helpful. As always, I wish you massive, massive profits.